Be careful where you get your knowledge, and do not listen to YouTubers. Hell, don't even listen to me unless I or we have what you want. And I'm going to add to that, don't listen to people that isn't your friends and family. Don't listen to people at the truck stop, because the hard truth is people are full of, that's a true story right there. If you're going to listen to somebody that's got what you want. If they don't have what you want, then they can't tell you how to get it. In theory, they might know how to do it, but also in theory, I can tell you how to become a millionaire or a multimillionaire. But the hard truth is, if I knew how to do it, I would have it. There's an old saying, to know and not do is to not know. So if someone's telling you how to do something, but yet they don't have it, do they really know? Yeah, maybe in theory, but theory and real life facts, two separate realities. This video is inspired by a young man I just met at the truck stop. I slept in a little late today because I was ahead of Stoney, and I parked at the Lake CDTA down in Florida, and I was parked in the back of the lot where it's flat, and got up, kicked the tires, done my pre-trip, pulled around to the fuel pumps. Yes, I did pull around to the fuel pumps to go in and get a cup of coffee. It's hot, it's Florida. Of course I'm going to go to the fuel pumps. Sometimes I'm lazy, don't judge. Anyway, walking out of the truck stop, I hear somebody say, "Hey man," as I turned, he said, "Are you signing autographs today?" I said, "No, but I gave you a knuckle bump." By the way, if you're serious about that autograph, don't hate me. But anyway, I'm pretty sure the guy's name is Rashad. If you're not Rashad and you're watching, I apologize. Rashad said, "Man, I've been watching you for a long time, man, and you gave me inspiration, inspired me on still becoming an owner-operator." And then he went on to say, he's like, "Man, these YouTubers out there, before he even finished, I said, full of crap." I said, the problem is with a lot of YouTubers, and let me add, not just single out YouTubers, just people in general, people you know back home, friends and family. Most people speak on theory. Everybody in theory knows how to become a millionaire. There's few. In theory, people know how to have six-pack abs and have the stamina to run marathons. But how many have it? In theory, you know how to do it. Unless you actually do it, do you really know how to do it? No. It's like cooking steak. You can read 1,000 books on cooking a steak, but you don't learn anything about cooking a steak until you throw your first steak on the grill. So in theory versus reality, two different things. So thank you for inspiring me to do this video, because after we got through talking, and I was like, "Hey man, I gotta go run behind." I got a truck, and I was thinking, I was like, that would be a good video topic. It's been a while since I put out a good video on inspiration to keep going, and I came up with this. Don't listen to people that don't have what you want, because most people are full of. And I'm gonna add the second thing to that is, don't ever accept no. You know how many people lose their dream, give up on their dream because one person says no? If you've got a little bit of stubbornness to you, you might even go for 2 no's and give up, or 3 no's and give up. But most people give up by hearing the word no once. Now, take you back when you was a kid, toddler, learning how to walk. How many times did you bust your butt and give up after first time falling, first time failing? No, you got back up. Second time. How many times did you fall before you learned how to walk and then learn how to run? See, as children, we didn't have the capacity of giving up. Somewhere along the line of teenager to adulthood, we give up. So I try to have that same mentality. If there's something I want to do, and I know I've got the confidence and I know how to do it, all I got to do is do it. I'm not going to hear no. If I hear no, that just means I can't do it this way. I got to find another way, something that works. With that, I'm going to give you a couple stories, real life stories, not theory, of my personal experience of taking advice, or where I didn't take advice from naysayers or people that didn't know any better, because they didn't have what I wanted to have. So I knew mentally, don't listen to these people. And I'm going to give you a couple stories of hearing the word no, and my tenacious stubbornness, pig-headedness. I would not give up, and I got what I wanted. Before I became an owner-operator, we'll take you back to 2013. My brother planted the seed in my head to become an owner-operator, team up, buy a truck. A couple weeks later, you'd have thought it was my idea, because I thought, we're dumb if we don't do that. I did what you do, what everybody does. I started talking to all my friends and family. Hey, I'm thinking about buying a truck. What do you think? Everyone except my wife, stepmother, my brother, and one guy I worked with was for it. Everybody else, I probably talked to, I don't know, 40, 50 people. Probably not even that many, maybe 30. maybe 25, but it's a lot. I talked to all my people that I was surrounded with, friends and family and workplace friends, and everybody said, no, that's a bad idea. They all said basically the same thing. They all had a story that they heard from somebody else that didn't involve them, and somebody else failed, so it's a terrible idea, and that's the reason why I shouldn't do the same thing. So I knew mentally, don't listen to them, because they don't have what I want. I gotta find the people that has what I want and talk to them. Luckily, there was one guy I worked with, and I didn't know this about Doc, but Doc was a owner-operator for Landstar 20, I don't know how long he was with Landstar, but he was an owner-operator until he got ready to retire. His wife fell out of the truck down in Florida, broke her shoulder. They had to get out of the truck and decided to just give it up, and he found a regular job, which is smart before retirement. He'll build that Social Security, I guess. I don't know. I ain't there yet. Doc told me, he said, Sammy, you're a sharp dude. You're pretty sharp. He said, everything you're telling me, I think you should do it. If you stick to your plan and keep investing in yourself, learning about it, and listen to people, and don't try to reinvent the wheel. Listen to people that's already done it and do what they do. Listen to people that's already done it and do what they do. And then you can critique it to your likings along the way. And I think you should do it. That, outside my close friends and my close family, he was the only one that said, I think you should do it. Because he did have what I wanted. And then they came off the road. Here I am 12 years later, not only an owner-operator, independent, got my own MC, authority, and we still rocking and rolling. Next story is, don't give in when you hear no. When I bought this truck, it was in late 2000, or I bought the truck early 2017. But late 2016, December, I went to the Peterbilt right there in Ringgold, Georgia. And I was trying to decide whether I wanted a Peterbilt 389 or a W9. So I went to Peterbilt and I said, hey, I'm getting ready to buy a truck. I'm gonna go check this truck out. He said, what truck are you talking about? I said, the red 379 out there. I said, I don't want to buy that truck. It's got a fat car. I'm going to want a Cummins. And he said, okay. And they gave me the keys. I said, I ain't going to fire it up or anything. I just want to sit in it and get a feel for the seat, check out the dash, check out the sleeper, because I didn't know them that much. I've never been in one. I just wanted to get a feel for it. Me and the wife went. We was in that truck maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. It was a long time. Just hanging out, checking out everything. I was like, okay, I really like this truck. But I'm still not convinced I want a Peterbilt versus a W9. Because I know what the W9 is, and the dash and everything is the same stuff I was accustomed to with my 660. So I really love the dash in this. And I really love the stance and the intimidator factor of a W9. And plus, I've always heard a W9 is an old man truck. And I'm going to retire this truck, so when I'm retired, I'm going to be an old man. So might as well have the old man truck, right? I go in, I talk to the guy, and I was like, what's the financing, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. He said, well, how long you been driving? He's real cocky. I said, well, I've been driving since 2000. I said, well, have you ever bought a truck before? I said, yeah. He said, what about blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. Started questioning me, you know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to somebody that didn't know anything about the trucking industry. I said, listen, I got money, I got money down, I got good credit. I've got business records. I said, hey, that's all taken care of. Well, how much money you got down? I said, I'm gonna have about $10,000, $15,000. He said, well, getting one of these trucks right here, you're gonna need about 40 or 50% down. Really? I was beside myself. I didn't know what to think either. Anyway, fast forward, I was like, well, it don't look like I'm gonna get a truck after all. And then my brain kicked in and said, we don't go for no's. All I heard was, that's not your course, that's not your route, that's not the road you're going down. We're gonna find another to go down. So I thought, well, let's find somewhere else. Let's go looking for a truck. I think I'm gonna go the W9 route. And I found the W9 I was looking for. It was at Truck Works down in Birmingham. I called them over the phone and negotiated over the phone. I got everything approved. And over the phone, I was ready to go buy a truck with $10,000 down. But the Peterbilt guy said, oh, you're going to need 40 or 50% down to buy one of these trucks. And it's going to be harder to get a used truck because these newer ones are easier. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, got the truck. Here I am. That was my ability to not hear no. All I heard was, this ain't the road. You got to find another road to go down. So don't ever give up. And more importantly than that, because that was only one no. This is when I bought my home. So it's a little out of the trucking, but it's still, we all need a place to live. I've decided in 2015, spring 2015, I'm ready to buy a house and ready to get out of this apartment. So I seen an ad about Rocket Mortgage. So I applied for a mortgage at Rocket Mortgage. Said no. I thought, no? How does people buy a house? You know, I got mediocre credit at this time. I got good credit, you know, not stellar credit, but they still said no. About summertime, maybe spring, end of spring, I thought, wait a minute, I've been Navy Federal Credit Union member since like 2002. They've got mortgages. Let me call them. I called them. They said no. You don't have enough established credit. You don't have enough income. You don't have blah 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 blah. I don't have it. I thought, well, most people at that time is going to be deterred. They're going to give up. They're just going to say, well, I guess it's just not meant to be. Not me. End of summer, I got another idea. I said, I've had a good relationship with my local credit union for quite a few years now. And the guy that I used to get all my loans from, car loans, signature loans, anything like that, his name's Kevin. I called Kevin up. I said, hey, Kevin, what are you doing? And he said, oh, I'm just working. What's going on, Sammy? I said, who do I need to talk to about getting a mortgage? I want to buy a home. He said, well, you're in luck. He said, I moved from signature loans and all small loans over to mortgages. I said, wait, really? So listen, everything happens for a reason. I had an established relationship with Kevin. 2 people told me no. I kept knocking, opened the door with somebody I knew and had a relationship with, and he's over mortgages. Game over, right? Anyway, he told me what I needed to do and how to do it, and actually even gave me an insider tip. I bought my house, guys, with no money down. People sell books on how to do that, but I'm going to give you a little tip here. If you have got a relationship with, I'm just going to use a credit union because I don't know how the bigger banks do it. I like small town stuff. If you find a house and you've got, upon buying that home, and you've got positive equity, you can use that positive equity as a down payment. For an example, you find a house that's $200,000. That's the value. It's on the market for $150,000. You've got $50,000 of positive equity on that route right there. So don't take my word for it. Talk to your banker, talk to your loan officer. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to make a quick video on how to not listen to people that don't have what you want, and don't listen to me even. If I don't have what you're seeking on YouTube, if I don't have what you're wanting to do, don't listen to me. Listen to somebody else. And don't ever hear no for a no. Hear no for, this is not the route. I gotta go another route. Anyways, guys, if you still there, give me a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, as I put videos out on a regular, all things trucking. And remember, guys, if it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. See you, bye.